All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys about the biggest story in UFC right now. There's a huge story in the MMA community, and you guys probably already know about it. And yet, you're here anyway, because this is where you come to get your hard-hitting MMA news. And it's a different world now. Yesterday, it was a different world than today, right? What am I talking about? Of course, Katelyn Chookagian's Twitter. You thought I was going to say Charles Oliveira, didn't you? You thought I was going to say we have a new lightweight champion that is now the replacement for the greatest lightweight of all time. That's what you thought I was going to say. But instead, I'm going to talk about Katelyn Chookagian and her very consistent, how do we say this, what she likes to look at on Twitter. We're going to talk about that. And you know why? You want to know why we're going to talk about that first? Because there are a million channels that are going to talk to you about, oh man, Michael Chandler came out hot, power. He's just raw power. But you know what? Fundamentals beat power. Everything Charles does is perfect. You can listen to people just regurgitate what Joe Rogan says. There's lots of people to do that. I don't think a lot of people are going to lead off with, by the way, did anyone see Katelyn Chookagian's Twitter, whereby it turns out the last 40 things that she liked were black porn? I just don't think that that's something that you're going to see on many channels. But that happened, right? So she helped me, establish what kind of MMA brand this is with this story. Although, I don't want to step on the story, but she definitely didn't do this, okay? When she said she got hacked, listen, she said she got hacked, and they haven't gone and done anything about it. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was so close to the fight. But, listen, we're going to talk about this. We're definitely going to talk about this. Let me, I really wish I could show this to you guys. So maybe, maybe if you pause right now and then you pull out your phone and then you go to Katelyn Chookagian's Twitter and then you could scroll with me, right? And I will very specifically identify which post we're talking about. Okay, and we can go through each one, right? So why don't we do that? And then we'll do UFC 262, right? So everyone go to Katelyn Chookagian's Twitter so you can look at the incredible, lineup of pornographic videos that she liked, apparently. I don't think she did this. I'm going to be honest, I don't think she did this. But we're going to pretend that she did for this video because that's just what I do, all right? So pause, come back, because here we go. All right, so this first post is from Freaks Around the World. And it looks like someone has rubbed baby oil all over, I can't do this. Oh, man, I can't do this. This is going to be great, but I can't do it. This is going to be too much. I will say, oh, man, if I tried to do each one of these, this would have been priceless. I will say this. I don't believe that these clips were randomly chosen. These are legit clips, I don't believe that all videos like this are this good. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about UFC 262. So bottom line, I don't think she did this, okay? But, I'm sorry. I'll tell you why. So if you scroll through them, because I'm like, is this real? And by the way, one thing that's hilarious, okay? So Katelyn Chookagian, obviously her Twitter got hacked. Someone liked a bunch of pornographic films, all of which were of one ethnic persuasion. And when you go to, and it's a hack. I'll explain to you how I know that. But what's hilarious is in her Twitter bio, UFC fighter, White Claw slut. So she straight up put slut in her Twitter bio, and then by some stroke of bad luck, someone was like, well, wouldn't it be funny if I hacked her Twitter and, we made everybody think that maybe that's not just a joke about White Claws. Anyway, the reason why it's not real, though, is because if you scroll and scroll and scroll, when you get to the end, okay, there is an end to this point. If you only take a minute, you won't think there's ever going to be an end to it, but there is. And then there's none of this guy. All of these, this is all very recent. Unless all of a sudden she was like, you know what? I'm going to stop liking UFC, tweets or things about businesses that I like, or Dogecoin, things like that. And all of a sudden I'm going to exclusively like porn movies with only one ethnicity in them. That's what I'm going to do because I think that makes a lot of sense. But I don't think that that's what happened. I think someone hacked her, but I think it's funny. As long as she thinks it's funny. If she doesn't think it's funny, then it's victimization. It's not cool. I'm not down with people victimizing people, especially if it makes them uncomfortable, even if There's no good jokes to make here, man. There are no good jokes to make. Okay, so let's talk about UFC 262. So this was a very light card. However, it was definitely supported by good fights. You know, I wouldn't say great. I mean, there were great fights. I wouldn't say the card was like across the board exceptional fights, but like the Barbosa and Burgos fight was amazing. Amazing fight. That guy Burgos is made of granite, dude. Granite. And that shot that he took, I mean, you know, but that guy's, he's a zombie. Okay, anybody who's watching me live last night, like, he's a zombie. He just keeps getting, no matter what you hit him with, he got hit with a spinning heel kick to the cheek. And no matter what you hit with the guy, he just keeps on walking forward as if it didn't hurt until all of a sudden he got hit with one too many and he just still was doing the same face, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, my brain stem is telling me I can't stand up anymore, so I'm going to fall down. Now, you know, I heard a lot of people be like, oh my gosh, that's really scary. And, yeah. I mean, honestly, one of the only reasons it wasn't super scary for me is because I've watched Mike Tyson's fights so many times, and I recognized exactly what that was in the Trevor Berbick fight when Tyson first won the heavyweight championship, just like that. He hit him with a shot over the head, like literally hit his forehead and like kind of grazed his forehead, and all of a sudden he literally couldn't stand up. He kept trying to stand up, and his legs would just, and he'd fall down. You can go watch that clip somewhere. But that was the same kind of thing. It was delayed, and then it's like some short circuit happens. I mean, I'm not saying this is good for anyone's health, obviously. Anything that short circuits your entire body to where you can't stand up, probably not a good thing. But yeah, anyway, so good for Barbosa. And now I'll just jump to the other two main events. So Tony Ferguson and Dariush. I mean, I heard a stat this morning that Tony Ferguson has landed 30 strikes in the last 30 minutes of fights. That is not a good statistic. I mean, he was never a guy who was hard to take down for guys who are good at taking people down. You know what I mean? Like, listen, and I think it's funny. It's what it is it's a shame. Like, it's a shame that instead of Khabib, we got Gaethje, because you know what it would have done for Khabib's legacy if he was the one who got to, come in there and take Tony down and just smash him into pieces. Like, you would be talking like I don't know. It would have been amazing for his legacy, given where Tony was at the time, where he hadn't lost 15 straight fights or whatever, and then Khabib would have gone in there and he would. I mean, is there any question what would have happened? He would have obliterated him. And Tony's so tough, he would have beaten him and beaten him and beaten him and beaten him 5 straight rounds. It would have been unbelievable, and it probably would have been potentially less damage than he took in that Gaethje fight, just because at least the strikes would have been on the ground, But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's really sad. And Dariush looks good. I mean, he looks good. They'll give him... I think Dariush will get the least marketable top 6 fighter for his next fight. That would be my guess. And then you got the main event. So here's what I want to say about the main event. The wrong guy won. And not in terms of the fight. Okay, like the fight, Charles Oliveira fought a great fight. He got in trouble. He withstood it, came out, landed great shots. Chandler had his hands down. Chandler was landing so... I mean, look... Chandler was having a lot of success, and he got complacent, I mean, you watch that shot he got hit with, like, anybody who has ever spent any time in any form of, striking, like, if you've sparred consistently, if you fought consistently, you were watching that clip like, oh, man, the replay, you're like, why is your hand down by your hip, Like, he's literally, like, he just forgot that he had to play defense, like, his hand was just down every single time. Get your fucking hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Hands were down, But congratulations, Charles Oliveira. The reason why I say that the wrong guy won is because did you hear Chandler on the microphone afterwards? Can you imagine how good of a champion he'll be if he ever wins a championship? He will be such an awesome champion. He'll be one of the best champions ever, because he'll be like, he's charismatic. He's not playing a character. He's being himself. He's got a great story. He would be an amazing champion, a fucking amazing champion. So I really hope he does it. I mean, he's not a spring chicken, obviously, and now he's gonna have to work his way back. He'll probably have to win 2. He will have to win 2 fights to get another title shot. And the lightweight division is a murderer's row. A murderer's row. Look at that, dude. You got Dustin, Connor, Dariush, Gaethje. I mean, you're gonna have to beat 2 of those guys to get a title shot. good luck, you know. I mean, he might be able to, but like, I don't know, you know. I mean, Connor's a favorable matchup for Chandler, most likely just because he can close distance so fast, and if he can get Connor on the ground. Dustin, I don't know, man. That's a tough fight for Chandler, Dustin, and Gaethje is a tough fight for everyone. So I don't know, man. Although that's after seeing him fight Khabib, if Chandler can get that fight to the ground, that'll be over very quickly. But I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that's all I got. You know, that's what I got. I'm about to, you know, I'm moving to Texas. Well, maybe in the morning, or maybe, you know, maybe it is the morning. You don't know. You know, you don't know when I'm filming this. Maybe it's 3 a.m. right now, or maybe it's midnight. I don't know, and you don't know. No one's keeping track anymore. Anyway, so subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Thank you guys for all the continued support. Peace.